Throughout history, humanity has been captivated by the mysterious and the unexplained. From ancient ruins to grand mansions, countless locations around the world are steeped in ghostly tales and eerie legends. But what lies behind these chilling stories? Are they mere fabrications, or do they hold a kernel of truth? Today, we're taking you on a spine-chilling journey to explore the most haunted places on Earth and the terrifying stories that surround them. The Tower of London, England. The Tower of London, a symbol of British history, is also one of the most haunted places in the world. This iconic fortress has witnessed centuries of executions, torture, and imprisonment. Perhaps the most famous ghost is that of Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, who was beheaded in 1536. Witnesses claim to have seen her headless body roaming the corridors of the tower. Other spirits, such as those of the princes in the tower, are also said to haunt the site. The ghostly sightings are so frequent that many guards refuse to patrol certain areas at night. Château de Brissac, France. The Château de Brissac in the Loire Valley is not only one of France's tallest castles but also one of its most haunted. The castle's most famous ghost is the Green Lady, believed to be Charlotte of France, who was murdered by her husband after being caught in an affair. She is said to wander the halls of the castle, her presence announced by the sound of her moans and a strong scent of roses. The owners of the castle, the Cossé-Brissac family, have reported numerous sightings of the Green Lady, often appearing in a green dress and with a terrifying face. The Stanley Hotel, Colorado, USA. The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, is renowned as the inspiration for Stephen King's novel, The Shining. But beyond its fictional fame, the hotel is also known for its real-life hauntings. Guests and staff have reported hearing mysterious piano music, seeing ghostly figures, and feeling unexplained cold spots. Room 217, in particular, is said to be haunted by the spirit of a former housekeeper who died in a gas explosion. Paranormal investigators have captured numerous strange occurrences, from flickering lights to inexplicable shadows. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. Aokigahara, also known as the Suicide Forest, is a dense woodland at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. This forest has a dark reputation as a place where many people have taken their own lives. The tragic history has given rise to stories of yurei, or vengeful spirits, haunting the area. Visitors often describe an overwhelming sense of unease and claim to have seen ghostly apparitions among the trees. Compasses and GPS devices frequently malfunction in the forest, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Japanese folklore suggests that the spirits of those who died in a state of deep anguish remain in the forest, unable to find peace. Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. The Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, Canada, is often referred to as the Castle in the Rockies. This luxurious hotel has a dark history, with numerous reports of ghostly activity. The most famous ghost is that of the Ghost Bride, a young woman who died tragically on her wedding day. It's said that she fell down a staircase and broke her neck. Her spirit has been seen dancing in the ballroom and walking the hallways in her wedding dress. Another well-known ghost is that of a former bellman named Sam Macaulay, who continues to assist guests, even after his death in the 1970s. Poveglia Island, Italy. Poveglia Island in the Venetian lagoon is considered one of the most haunted places in the world. The island served as a quarantine station for plague victims in the 18th century, and later as a mental asylum. Thousands of people died on the island, leading to its reputation as a cursed place. The spirits of the plague victims and the tormented souls of the asylum are said to haunt the island. Visitors report hearing screams, footsteps, and eerie voices. The island is now abandoned, and access is restricted, but the few who have ventured there describe it as a place of overwhelming dread. The Myrtles Plantation, Louisiana, USA. The Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, is often called one of America's most haunted homes. Built in 1796, the plantation has been the site of numerous tragic events, including murders and mysterious deaths. The most famous ghost is that of Chloe, a former slave who was allegedly hanged after poisoning the family's children. Her spirit is said to appear in photographs, and her footsteps can be heard on the wooden floors. Other ghosts, including the spirits of the murdered children, are also said to haunt the plantation. The Myrtles Plantation is now a bed and breakfast, attracting paranormal enthusiasts from around the world. The Ancient Ram Inn, England. The Ancient Ram Inn in Gloucestershire, England, is considered one of the most haunted buildings in the UK. Built in the 12th century, the inn has a dark history of witchcraft, child sacrifice, and murder. Numerous spirits are said to haunt the inn, including a witch who was burned at the stake, a high priestess, and a young girl who was murdered. The current owner has reported being thrown out of bed by an unseen force and seeing ghostly apparitions. Paranormal investigators have captured chilling evidence, including EVP, electronic voice phenomena, recordings and shadowy figures. Hoia Baciu Forest, Romania. Hoia Baciu Forest, located in Transylvania, Romania, is often referred to as the Bermuda Triangle of Romania. The forest is known for its strange phenomena, including UFO sightings, mysterious lights, and ghostly apparitions. People who enter the forest often report feeling watched, hearing disembodied voices, and experiencing sudden headaches or nausea. The forest's most famous feature is a circular clearing where nothing seems to grow, and electronic devices malfunction. Local legends suggest that the forest is a portal to another dimension, and that those who enter may never return. Castle of Good Hope, South Africa. The Castle of Good Hope in Cape Town, South Africa, is one of the oldest colonial buildings in the country and is also known for its hauntings. Built in the 17th century, the castle was a military fort and a prison, where many people suffered and died. The most famous ghost is that of the Lady in Grey, who has been seen running through the castle, crying and holding her face. Another ghost, that of a soldier who was executed for desertion, is said to haunt the castle's dungeons. Visitors and staff have reported hearing footsteps, voices, and seeing ghostly figures. The Edinburgh Vaults, Scotland. Beneath the streets of Edinburgh, Scotland, lies a network of underground vaults that were once used as storage spaces, workshops, and even living quarters. The vaults were eventually abandoned and fell into disrepair, becoming a haven for criminals and the destitute. The dark history of the vaults, including murder, disease, and death, has led to numerous reports of paranormal activity. Visitors often describe feeling cold spots, hearing disembodied voices, and seeing shadowy figures. The most famous ghost is that of Mr. Boots, a tall, sinister figure who is said to lurk in the shadows, watching visitors. The Whaley House, California, USA. The Whaley House in San Diego, California, is often referred to as one of the most haunted houses in the United States. Built in 1857, the house has a dark history of tragedy and death. The most famous ghost is that of Thomas Whaley, the original owner, who is said to haunt the house along with his family members. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions, hearing footsteps, and experiencing sudden cold chills. The house is now a museum, and paranormal investigations have captured numerous strange occurrences, from flickering lights to unexplained noises. Leap Castle, Ireland. Leap Castle in County Offaly, Ireland, is known as one of the most haunted castles in the world. The castle has a bloody history, with tales of murder, betrayal, and torture. The most infamous ghost is that of the Elemental, a terrifying spirit said to be a manifestation of the castle's dark history. The spirit is often described as a shadowy figure with a foul smell, and those who encounter it are left with an overwhelming sense of dread. Other spirits, including that of a murdered priest and a group of prisoners who were thrown into the castle's dungeon, are also said to haunt the castle. Eastern State Penitentiary, Pennsylvania, USA. Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is a former prison that is now known for its paranormal activity. The prison was built in 1829 and was notorious for its harsh treatment of inmates, including solitary confinement. Many prisoners went mad, and some even committed suicide. The most famous ghost is that of Al Capone, who was imprisoned there for a short time. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and seeing shadowy figures. The prison is now a museum, and paranormal investigators have captured chilling evidence of ghostly activity. The Banff Springs Hotel, Alberta, Canada. Returning to the Banff Springs Hotel, this location deserves a second mention due to the sheer volume of ghostly reports. Built in 1888, the hotel has a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in Canada. One of the most famous ghosts is that of a former bellman named Sam Macaulay, who continues to assist guests even after his death in the 1970s. The Ghost Bride is another well-known apparition, often seen dancing in the ballroom or wandering the halls in her wedding dress. The hotel's rich history and stunning architecture make it a popular destination for those seeking both luxury and a paranormal experience. The Catacombs of Paris, France. The Catacombs of Paris are a vast underground network of tunnels and chambers that hold the remains of over 6 million people. The catacombs were created in the 18th century as a solution to the city's overflowing cemeteries. The labyrinthine tunnels are lined with skulls and bones, creating a chilling atmosphere. Visitors often report feeling a sense of unease, hearing strange noises, and seeing shadowy figures. The most famous ghost is that of Philibert Aspert, a doorkeeper who got lost in the catacombs and died. His ghost is said to haunt the tunnels, guiding lost visitors back to safety. Château de Chillon, Switzerland. Château de Chillon, located on the shores of Lake Geneva in Switzerland, is a stunning medieval castle with a dark past. The castle was once used as a prison, and many prisoners were tortured and executed within its walls. The most famous ghost is that of François Bonnivard, a monk who was imprisoned in the castle for 4 years. His spirit is said to haunt the dungeon, where visitors have reported hearing chains rattling and seeing ghostly apparitions. The castle's eerie atmosphere and stunning location make it a popular destination for both history buffs and ghost hunters. The Queen Mary, California, USA. The Queen Mary, a retired ocean liner docked in Long Beach, California, is known for its luxurious past and its ghostly present. The ship served as a luxury cruise liner, a World War II troopship, and is now a floating hotel and museum. The Queen Mary is said to be haunted by numerous spirits, including a young sailor who was crushed to death by a door in the engine room, and a lady in white who has been seen dancing in the ballroom. Guests and staff have reported hearing footsteps, seeing apparitions, and experiencing sudden drops in temperature. The ship's history and paranormal activity have made it a popular destination for ghost tours and paranormal investigations. The Monte Cristo Homestead, Australia. The Monte Cristo Homestead in New South Wales, Australia, is often referred to as the most haunted house in Australia. The house has a dark history, with numerous tragic events, including the deaths of several children and a stable boy who was burned alive. The most famous ghost is that of Mrs. Crawley, the original owner of the house, who is said to haunt the homestead. Visitors have reported seeing her ghostly figure, hearing strange noises, and feeling cold spots. The house is now a museum, and paranormal investigators have captured chilling evidence of ghostly activity. Port Arthur, Tasmania, Australia. Port Arthur, a former convict settlement in Tasmania, Australia, is one of the most haunted places in the Southern Hemisphere. The settlement was notorious for its brutal treatment of convicts, many of whom died from disease, suicide, or execution. The most famous ghost is that of George, the gentleman bushranger, Booth, who was hanged in 1867. His spirit is said to haunt the gallows, and visitors have reported hearing footsteps, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling a sense of dread. The site is now a popular tourist destination, with ghost tours that explore its dark history and paranormal activity. To conclude, the world is full of haunted places, each with its own unique story of tragedy, mystery, and the supernatural. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, these locations continue to captivate our imagination and challenge our understanding of what lies beyond the veil of death. As we've explored today, the tales of haunted places are not just stories. They are a reflection of our deepest fears, our fascination with the unknown, and our desire to connect with something beyond the physical world. So, the next time you visit one of these haunted locations, keep your eyes open. You never know what you might encounter.